Joe Tait is with us, and for more information on his new book, you can jump to our Facebook page. We've got a link there to where you can purchase the book and learn more about it. What are the options? I mean, what can happen in the NBA if the players choose to do that? Can they limit the power that the players have in free agency? Can they, increase the value of staying with your hometown team? What can be done?
Well, Ryan, let me put it to you this way. I don't know, and I don't care, because I retired. So it's up to them now. I'm not going to be involved in it anymore, and really, I don't know what they're going to do. I have not read virtually anything about it since I retired. You pick up bits and pieces on newscasts, but I've never understood ESPN because they speak a language I don't understand. So I just I'm going on my merry way now and won't concern myself at all with the NBA or baseball or football. About as exciting as I get is Mount Union football, which I have done now for 26 years, and I also like to do high school sports. I used to come up on WFUN there in Ashtabula when they had the sports crew, which was one of the finest aggregations I have ever worked with. Really some super people, and broadcast high school basketball up there, and I have some very fond memories of broadcasts that we had in Ashtabula. And those kind of things really are the things now that I think will stay with me more than anything else.
Well, you jumped right into my question. I remember you being out here because I was in, I can't remember the last time that you were here, but I remember it being a big event. Are you going to do any more high school, do you think, just on the side because you enjoy it?
I'll do a few, but, I'm almost 75 years old, and after a while you kind of lose your eye-to-mouth coordination, and I don't want to just do it to do it and not have it sound good so people are saying, boy, what happened to him?
Right.
Well, what happened to me is I got old. I might do one or two, but that's going to be about it.
That's the trademark Joe Tait honesty that we like so much. Joe Tait is with us today. His book, It's Been a Real Ball, is available on Amazon.com if you want to get it. I read somewhere that you had said that even though the times when LeBron was here were so great, that you didn't think the Cavs would win a title with LeBron. Is that true? And if so, why?
That is true, because I felt that LeBron was placed in a position with the Cavaliers that he really could not handle, and that was being the team leader. No question, the man was a great ball player. It still is a great ball player. However, if you ask that great ball player to also be a leader, that requires some traits and abilities that I don't think LeBron has. So in high school, he had Drew Joyce III, who was the leader of that ball club, and LeBron played very well under his guidance. Also, he had a couple of really good coaches. And then with the Miami Heat now, he's got Dwayne Wade, who was a leader. And, they may, in the long run, shake down a title. But if you put LeBron out front, I don't think it's going to happen.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people share that opinion as well, and that's why it may just work in Miami, because he does have that leader in Dwayne Wade. How much thought did you put into holding a 1-hour special to announce your retirement on broadcast live on ESPN?
I know where you're going with that one, Ryan. And no, that's it. That was really an embarrassing 60 minutes of TV time. And I really honestly believe if you could get inside LeBron, he'd tell you that he wished that he never had done it, and certainly not done it that way. That was really disgusting, because he knew where he was going. He knew he was going there probably in 2008 when those guys were together on the Olympic team. And so they all put up the sham front to make it look like there was last-minute decisions, but nothing could be further from the truth.
Joe Tait is our special guest today, and we're talking about his 39-year broadcasting career just with the Cavaliers, and also about his new book, It's Been a Real Ball. Just a couple more questions for you. I'll let you go. Do you miss it? Do you wake up? Is there days when you actually miss going to the stadium and doing the games?
No, not at all. I've closed the chapter. I try to stress to people, this does not mean I'm dissing the Cavaliers. It means that this is a part of my life that's over. I enjoyed it. It was great run, and I have a lot of fond memories, but now it's time to move on to other things that are not necessarily broadcast-oriented, things that I've had to put aside for all the years I was involved with sports broadcasting. So, no, I do not miss it, and doubt that I ever will again. I know with the Indians, I had some great times with the Indians as well, but when I left the Tribe, didn't go back for 20 years. And after I did that game with Bruce Drennan 20 years after I left the Tribe, they asked me if I wanted to do another one. I said, yeah, I'll see you in 20 years.
I had you come on, and I want to talk to you a little bit about it. I want to tell you one quick story about you from the listener's perspective. I heard you the night in Houston that you weren't feeling well. And you were talking, I think, on the air about how you didn't feel well, and it was so different to I could tell that something wasn't right long before. I mean, right when it started out of the gate, you just sounded so different than the normal upbeat and what we're used to hearing. And, I think I speak for a lot of people. We were genuinely concerned and really worried, and, of course, it wasn't long thereafter that you wound up going into the hospital. How soon did you know how serious that situation was?
Well, I knew I was in trouble before the ball game even began. In fact, had I found anybody who could have filled in that night, I would have recruited them right on the spot. But there was nobody else around, exhibition season and all, so I staggered through that broadcast, and I got as far as halfway to the airport on the team bus when I keeled over, and the team trainer, Max Benton, stopped the bus, called for an ambulance. They snagged me off the bus onto an ambulance, and the next thing I know, I'm in Houston Methodist Hospital with a pulmonary embolism, and I was down there for, a week, 10 days, came back and had another one that the doctors at the clinic told me it should have killed me, but it didn't do it. So I came through that, and then, of course, we got into the open heart surgery and double bypass and all of that other stuff. So I spent a good deal of the 2010-2011 season my back in hospital beds.
Absolutely, and I know there was a lot of listeners obviously worried and praying for you as well, and that leads me to my final question or my final comment, and that was, obviously the city of Cleveland was very, I think, hurt or damaged by the decision and everything that followed that. And I just wanted to say thank you from the fans' perspective to come back for that year in what was inevitably going to be a very difficult year for all the fans with everything that was following, but to have that comforting voice that we had heard for so many years and have you back again, that was really, really important in that crucial time for a lot of fans.
No, thank you, Ryan. I quite honestly, I wanted to finish on my feet, so to speak. In other words, I wanted to at least do a few games at the end of the year just to go out that way rather than, have me go out horizontally and not able to broadcast again. But, not only I appreciate the thanks, but the thanks should really go the other way because there are so many people who really voiced their support and their hopes and prayers that I'm sure it had a lot to do with my getting through all of the physical problems that I had. And from Ashtabula all the way across the state, a lot of great people, and I've enjoyed knowing them and working with them. And as I say, there are good memories just about every town in which I spent some time. So I thank you, and I thank them, too, for their support.
Joe Tait, everybody, legendary broadcaster for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Joe, thank you so much for just spending some time, and the listener feedback in anticipation of the interview was very high, and we're going to post this stuff as we always do up on YouTube and let people stop by and listen if they missed it, but thank you very much again.
Ryan, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and everybody there at WFUN.
Thank you very much, Joe. Take care. You
Sure.
too.